What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We got our first guest in regards to Talkin Yugioh. We're starting off our first episode of this season, Talkin Yugioh, with Tyler, G, and Cheddar. Now, Tyler, he is a YouTuber himself. He does play music, so I do encourage all of you to visit his channel. His link will be in the description, so you don't have to look far. Just go ahead and click it. It'll take you directly to his channel. He does some live performances and things of that nature, so check him out when you get a chance. But he's here today to give us a deck profile of the Ariadne Magicians. He took it to Providence, Rhode Island in March of 18, and he got top 32. So I think it's a budget deck that you can easily pick up and still be very competitive. So without further ado, y'all, I want to show you guys the deck list and get your comments and thoughts. Please also don't forget to subscribe. So here we go. Without further ado, y'all, Tyler, G, and Cheddar, a.k.a. Cheddar Bob.
It's really cool to be here. So I actually took this deck, the side deck's different, but I actually took this deck to a regional a few weeks ago. It's an unorthodox build of Pendulum Magicians. Like, you see the Ariadnes, and people are like, I actually nicknamed this deck Ignorant Magicians, because the whole reason why I decided to play Ariadne was because I didn't have the time to learn the combo build, and I didn't have the money for it.
Right.
So I wanted to play something that could put out just as many negations turn one, but I didn't have to think as much.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so Ariadne basically functioned as the new double Iris Magician. But I'll just go over the deck, and I'll explain things as I need to. But the 3 harmonizing, that should be standard. I wish I could run 7 of these things, but I can't. Wisdom Eyes, now you see here that I am playing Wisdom Eye and I am playing Pendulum Call. There's really no super huge reason for that. I've never really had an issue with it. I typically, Wisdom Eye is just there because it can just be either, a low scale or a high scale.
Yeah.
I've never really had an issue with it conflicting with Pendulum Call.
Question.
Yeah.
Have you ever used his other effect to change the pendulum scale?
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I used Time Gazer or Stargazer in my scale.
Okay.
And I was gonna put Wisdom Eye in the other scale, and I'm on Yugioh Pro, and I'm hitting activate, and a little pop-up pops up of put in scale or change scale. Oh my god, this thing has a monster effect. Literally, this card's been out since 2015, and I have never used its monster effect. I literally forgot that it was a thing. I was like, what do you mean this card doesn't just pop itself?
Yeah, exactly. I had to ask, man. Back when Monkey Board was a thing, I've used it to get Monkey Board back to pen scale 8. So, or 1, whichever one it turned into.
But reading is fundamental, children.
Yeah.
But yeah, the triple Wisdom Eye. There's only 2 purple poison and 2 black fang. So the third purple poison, you don't see it here, but during the regional, I actually ended up siding the third purple poison.
Okay.
That's just because I didn't really have room for it in the main deck. This deck is already 42, and I didn't want to go over that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was mainly just due to a lack of space. The third black fang was actually cut in favor of the Luster Pendulum.
Okay.
Because since I'm not playing Time Star in this build, you're not really abusing Black Fang as hard.
I got you.
And Luster was another high scale, but it's another high scale that's searchable off Duelist Alliance, and it gives you advantage. And it works well with Purple Poison, and it works well with Ariadne.
And Astrograph, too.
And Astrograph. Literally, you open Luster Astrograph. It's insane.
Yeah.
You just get all three Astrographs out of the deck, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then the Dragon, I've never needed more than one. Because this build doesn't revolve as heavily around the Magicians as much. So that's why you don't need to run as many of them. So I've never really found the need for more than one Oath Dragon. But I still wanted it so that the Magicians could be a standalone engine if I need them to.
That's true. Okay, so that makes sense why you have that plugged at 1.
Yeah. But then this card needs to be banned or go to 1. This card cannot stay at 3. Like, it can't. I'm not going to say anything more about it.
Yeah, I hear you.
No, I will say one more thing. 3 copies of Astro Boy and 3 copies of Chrono Trigger. Those are my little nicknames. And then,
I caught those.
And then your 2 Garnets. This card is randomly really good against Paleo, which is just hilarious.
That is true, because he stops it from getting popped.
The 3 Dark Worm, the 2 Gate Zero, or Donuts, as I learned that people call them, which is hilarious. I don't know if people still side one of these out, but, like, you can't. Like, you need to play 2 of this. Because you need to be able to pop it with Electrum and then add another one with Astrograph. Like, that's an interaction that happens so much, especially when you use Pendulum Call. So you just have to play 2 of this card.
Okay.
And then the most ignorant card, like, ever printed.
It's so old. 25 cents, but busted.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I don't know what else to say about it. And the amount of times at the regional where people forgot that when you have it in your scale, you don't pay light points to actually get solemns. So, like, people were giving me Solemn Judgment, and they didn't realize that it was free.
Oh, my God. Hence why you got your invite there, sir.
It's broken. Like, this card's stupid. Literally every single time, I'm not even kidding, literally every single time I drew this card, I won.
Wow.
The only time I didn't win was when my opponent had a Thunder King on board.
Oh, God.
And my hand was Pendulum Call, Dark Worm, Ariadne, Chrono. Like, it was like the most broken hand I could have drawn to be as a Thunder King on the field.
We'll go ahead and scoop this one up.
Yeah. Rolling it back to 2011, Thunder King set 5. These were good. I like these. A lot of people don't run these. This was here as just like a little 2-card interaction. So these were actually my 41st and 42nd cards.
Okay, interesting.
I wanted to run the Mythical Beast engine with the Cerberus and the Jackal. I do like that engine, but it was just too big. And like I said, I didn't want to make this deck more than 42.
Right.
So the Curtain Raisers were just more ways that I can just, special summon it and just make Electrum. Which basically, like, did the same thing as the Mythical Beast engine, even though the Mythical Beast engine kind of does it better because, like, Jackal's another negation.
Right.
But this did kind of fulfill the same role, but it was just 2 cards as opposed to 6.
Okay.
And also, it's another level 4, it's another dark, it's another high scale, too, being a 7.
Yep.
Which was, like, it was definitely really good throughout the night. I really liked it.
Okay.
And the one Luster, which I touched on. This card's really good. I really like this card. I wanted to play 2, but I just couldn't find her.
Yeah.
And then the 2 Ghost Ogres. I felt like I had to play some sort of hand traps. Like, I didn't want to just, like, there's a lot of FTK running around, there's a lot of Draco, a lot of, like, I just didn't want to, and especially since the Ariadnes make it so, they make going first, like, so easy, but, like, you need something going second.
Yeah.
So I just felt like I didn't feel comfortable not maining any hand traps, so I just felt like the 2 Ghost Ogres and threw them in there.
Okay, so that's fair.
So that's 32 monsters, and that's actually by far the highest monster count I've ever run in a deck. But then for spells, the 1 pen call, you don't need more than 1. I mean, some people cut it all together, but I like to in this build. Especially since you had Ariadne, so you have other non-magician cards that you can pop.
Yeah.
Pendulum Call it doesn't conflict nearly as hard as it does in other builds. Like, it's not even the fact that Pendulum Call can conflict because you can't pop your magicians.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost the fact that it's almost unnecessary. Because you just have so many magician cards that give you advantage now.
Yeah.
Like, you have Harmonizing Magician, which is a +1 every time it's Pendulum Summon. You have Astrograph and Chronograph that are multiple times per turn that are also pluses. You have Dark Worm, which is a plus. I mean, Dark Worm is pretty much the main reason why I wanted to play Pendulum Call in the first place. Was because if you open Pendulum Call Dark Worm, then that's like the best. That's like the best 2-card combo that you can have. Because even if they ash you at that point, you still just get the Dark Worm effect in grave. And also the fact of I am playing 2 Duelist Alliance, so that can just search Pendulum Call. So in a way, I kind of am playing 3. But it's just one of those cards that's like I never wanted to draw multiples. I never wanted to draw multiples, and it's just like it's really good when your hand is bad or when your hand isn't that great.
Yeah.
But then when your hand is really good, you don't need it.
I got you.
But I did like it. Like I know a lot of builds drop it altogether. And again, this build is very different from a lot of other builds just because, like, I'm playing Ariadne and, that it really does kind of shift how the entire deck is built.
It sure does.
I personally like it, especially for this build since it doesn't conflict nearly as hard.
I have to agree. I really, really like that you take your own ideas and you make it competitive. That's what my decks and any videos you might see on my channel are about.
And I'm all about the innovation.
Yeah, bro, I'm liking it. I'm loving it. So I'm gonna let you get back to the deck profile.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, the 2 Alliance. I actually initially had this at 3. I actually originally did have 2 Pendulum Call and 3 Duelist Alliance, but I just kept drawing them too much. Like I was drawing multiple alliances or multiple calls or like one of each.
Mm-hmm.
And like the only reason why I had 2 Pendulum Call in was because I wanted to see Pendulum Call Dark Worm more. But I was just like, if I didn't see the Dark Worm, then the Pendulum Call, like when I had 2 Pendulum Call, it was just conflicting a lot. But then I cut it all together, and I was just like, I really want Pendulum Call, so I cut the 3rd Alliance. I cut Alliance down to 2, and I put Pendulum Call back in, and it just ran a lot smoother.
Okay.
The 1-star draft, nobody runs this anymore. Even in most Magician's builds, I think this card should still be run. It just gives you so much advantage out of nowhere.
I agree.
This is, I thought about cutting it, but, I wanted another thing that I could search off of Alliance when I didn't want Pendulum Call. And this kind of gives you the same amount of combo pieces that Pendulum Call would. Like, Pendulum Call gives you 2, but this gives you 1. But this is constant, and it doesn't, if you don't have a non-magician card, then you don't want to search Pendulum Call. Because then you can't pop anything.
Yep, exactly.
So this is like when you have a handful of magicians and you have a Duelist Alliance, you want to search this.
That's a good tip right there for you guys. Hopefully you caught that.
Yeah. And then 1 Foolish and 1 Dragon Shrine. Just ways to send Dark Worm. I didn't want to play multiple Dragon Shrines. I know some people play 2. I know some people even play 3. And I just didn't want to. I didn't want to draw. It's really anecdotal evidence because it is really good, but I just didn't want to draw multiples. I didn't want to draw a Foolish Wisp Shrine, and I really didn't want to draw a Shrine off of Electrum. That was the thing that irritated me the most because whenever you draw a Shrine mid combo, it's just like, oh, I have monsters on the field. That Dark Worm can't be summoned from grave. This does nothing.
Yeah.
So. I just felt like 1 and 1 was fine.
Okay.
Especially since I'm playing the Pendulum Call. So, drawing the Dark Worm with Alliance, it basically, opening Pendulum Call Dark Worm is basically the same thing as opening Dragon Shrine, except better.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. And then for the traps, this is, bread and butter of the deck. 1 of each solemn. The only thing I want to say about this is a lot of people at the regional questioned me about why I ran Scolding because the typical combo ends with a Vortex Dragon and 2 counter trap searches, and then if you have a Harmonizing Magician, you get a rank 4 on top of that.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But the big reason why I bring up Scolding is because since you're searching 2 counter traps, Scolding won't be live because it's not your only set card.
Yeah.
So the alternative would be to run Warning, Judgment, and 2 strikes, like, let's say I was running 2 strikes instead of the scolding. Ariadne makes you reveal 3 cards, right? And your opponent picks one.
Mm-hmm.
If you show them strike, warning, judgment, 99% of the time, if your opponent knows what they're doing, they're going to give you strike because it's the weakest one.
Right.
So they give you strike, and then you reveal again, and you show them strike, warning, judgment, and they give you the second strike. So you end with vortex and 2 strikes, which isn't bad, but it's not as good as it could be.
Right.
Now let's do that same situation, but let's swap out one of the strikes for a scolding. So now, off of your first reveal, you're going to show them judgment, warning, scolding. Now your opponent's in a tough spot because they don't want to give you judgment, because of course they don't. Warning negates literally any kind of summon. So against True Dracos, they don't want to give you this because this can negate Amato Iwado. And scolding, if you show it to them first, they don't. If they don't know that you're going to get another search, they don't want to give this to you because then this would be your only set. And even if you do get another search, you search this, or like let's say they give you this, right? Let's say they give you the scolding. Then off your second reveal, you show them strike, warning, judgment, and they give you strike. So instead of ending with 2 strikes, you end with strike, scolding, which is better because in the first situation when you have 2 strikes, you have a vortex dragon which negates anything, and then you have 2 strikes which negate a summon or a monster effect.
Okay.
Now let's take the other situation where you have a vortex dragon which negates anything, a strike that negates a summon or a monster effect, and then once the strike has been used, you now have another card that negates anything, as opposed to just a card that negates summons and monster effects.
You guys, I'm gonna have to totally agree with Tyler on this, and I have many decks and many replays to prove this with timestamps on them that I am a big fan of scolding. I always include
card.
yes.
This is honestly like my favorite trap in the game. Like I was running this before I was running Ariadne.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It's just like 3,000 to stop anything. Yeah.
This card is the best trap in the game.
I agree, man. Finally, somebody.
It literally negates anything. The spells, traps, monster effects, or summons. Like Judgment doesn't do that. Warning doesn't do that. Strike doesn't do that. Scolding does that.
You see that? Did you guys hear that? Scolding. If you look at the text, get over the 3,000 paying life points. It's better than Judgment. And guys, think about this. This is what I think about. Think about the turn you use this card. How much damage would you have taken from either card effects or attacks? It'll be much more than 3,000 if you're willing to flip this card. So, Trust me, you can get over the 3,000.
Yeah, and then like even if like the whole big thing about why people don't like scolding is the fact that it has to be your only set. But again, if you have 2 strikes, you're going to use both cards anyway.
Exactly.
So like if you have a strike and a strike, like you're going to use both. Like if you're to the point where you need the second card, you'd rather have a scolding than a strike.
Absolutely. And also to piggyback on that, I'm sorry to cut you off again. How often does your opponent pop a back row? You know, okay, they pop the strike, leave the scolding. Now you're cash. So it works both ways.
Yeah. And also the other thing about scolding is aside from the reveals, it's also the best one to draw because of the fact that it negates, because like when you draw, like unless you draw multiples, which kind of sucks. But typically you're going to draw 1, and if you draw 1, you want it to be scolding because scolding negates anything. And that's why I wanted 4 different ones so that instead of, and then like if they don't give you scolding, then they give you warning. So you have strike, warning, which is still better than double strike. So that was definitely having this scolding as opposed to a second strike was definitely really good.
And that's probably why strike is still at 3 and the only solemn that stayed at 3 all this time. I mean, it's great, but it is the weakest of all. So that's some very valid points you just made about strike.
Then the extra deck, I'll do the exceeds first, just because it's on the left. Tornado Dragon. Actually, fun fact at the regional, Everything in the extra deck was summoned at least once except Trapeze Magician. This was the only card I did not summon. And that's only because I didn't play against any Trick Stars.
Good job.
Yeah, but this card just auto wins your Trick Star matchup.
Yeah.
So I play it. Tornado Dragon was good. Dweller, if you're not playing Dweller, I don't know what's wrong with you. I literally see people not run Abyss Dweller right now, and I want to know what they do turn 1 against True Dracos. Like, Dweller just, like, if you make a Dweller against True Dracos, you win. Like, that deck literally can't do anything. The funny part is, people think this is dead in the mirror. It's honestly not even dead in the mirror. Because what you can do, like, so I said before that whenever, that you can make Vortex in a rank 4, whenever I make the rank 4, I pretty much always blind Dweller. Because if I'm playing against True Dracos, then I just win. If I'm playing against Trickstar, then they can't break my board anyway, so it doesn't matter what I make. And if I'm playing against the Mirror, the only way they break your board is if they scale Purple Poison and summon Black Fang.
Yeah.
And basically what that forces you into is if you negate the Purple Poison, then it blows something up. It basically deals with 2 negations. But if you have a Dweller up and you detach Dweller in the standby phase, then the Purple Poison doesn't trigger in Grave. Because if you negate the activation of Purple Poison, it goes to the Grave, it doesn't go to the extra deck.
Right.
So when they go scale Purple Poison and you negate it with Vortex Dragon, it won't activate in Grave because of Dweller.
Did you guys catch that? That's why Dweller is still broken. I mean, I did have it in conversation, but Tyler actually has it in the deck like he's supposed to. So this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like even in the Pendulum Mirror match, like that's how they break your board is with Purple Poison, and now they can't.
So there you have it, guys.
Literally, like Dweller's like the best rank 4 right now. This is the best rank 4 in the Mirror. Like if you ever book the monster that's in their extra deck zone, you just win. Their only out is to make Starving Venom with it, and then you can just book that. So, because this guy isn't once per turn.
Right.
So, yeah, this card's insane. Trapeze Magician for Trick Stars. This card is, in this card's name, it actually, funny enough, people don't know this, it actually got errata. It has a new name. It's called Ignorance Dragon.
Wow.
Because it's ignorant as hell.
Yeah, it is.
You literally just like, it's just like, oh, my opponent has a 2600 beater on the board. I'm just gonna hit him for 5,000 now. Like, literally, I was playing against True Dracos, and he hand trapped me twice, and he just has a Majesty Maiden on board, and I have this, an Astrograph, and an Electrum, which is like not a good board at all. And I'm just like, this is game. Like, that's literally, like, I just go, okay, this attack the maiden, use its effect, and this goes up to 48, because that's fair. And I hit him for 48, and then 25 from Astrograph, and then 18 from Electromite. That's literally 91.
Oh my god.
For 2 hand traps, that's 9,100 damage. Like, this card's done. And then if for some reason you summon this and you don't kill them, then you get to tag it out and summon Dark Worms and gate zeros out of the extra deck. So then you can keep going main phase 2 because you now have an extra deck zone again. Named Vodka Dragon, because it's vodka. Nobody caught on to that at the regional. That made me kind of sad.
Well, hopefully we can get some more over here.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Vodka Dragon, Vortex Dragon. You make this. Hopefully, ideally, you want to make this every single game. Yeah. This card is a second copy of literally all of this.
Yeah.
This card is also dumb. This card like single-handedly won me my last round. Like I just kept copying Electrum and drawing a card every turn.
And then making all your monsters pierce.
Yeah.
It's retarded.
People forget about that.
You're right.
This is how you out Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Like, you just copy its effect, and then use it, and then use the effect to book everything face down, or to book the Tyrant face down, and then swing into it and use its effect to kill it, deal it 1,000. Otherwise, like, you literally have no out to it in the extra deck. So this is really important. This card, I only summoned it once, but it's broken. It's literally Raigeki.
Yes.
There's nothing else that needs to be said about it. It's just Raigeki.
Well, the second effect, don't forget about that. I have to, I use it. I use that second effect versus Cosmo players and everything. So, guys, the reason why I like it, because basically you can make it and they got to swing at it twice and then be able to take burn damage from whatever they swing at it with, because he can't be destroyed by whatever is swung at him first. He'll destroy it with their effect and burn them for their attack. So if you're in trouble, you can nuke the field, and then he'll require at least 2 monsters to attack him before he'll die.
You get to pop their card to spin their card.
You guys should know about Ignister from this point. When Pepe was at full power, you can summon multiple of these and keep special summoning out the little ones. You guys should know about Ignister at this point.
And that's another reason why I love Luster in the deck, is because, like, it gives you easier access into Ignister.
Yep.
And it also lets Ignister be better. So, like, that was another thing, like, when I was playing Pendulum Call, when I was playing more copies of Pendulum Call, was, if you can't pop your scale, then you can't use Ignister's effect.
Right.
But having Luster in the deck solves that problem, because even if you're under Pendulum Call or you don't want to pop your scales in general, you could just summon Luster in the deck and pop it. But Ignister's insane. And then Omega, which you don't make that much anymore, but this is my answer for when I get cherries, which they'll obviously hit Electromite. Basically, when you get cherries, you kind of, the way I play when I get cherries, is I kind of fall back on the old play style of Pendulum Magician before Electromite came out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just make, like, Omega and a rank 4 every turn. Like, you just make Omega, banish a card out of their hand, and then, like, make Nightmare or Tornado Dragon Dweller or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would just sit on that. Because, like, you're going to get cherries in the mirror, or an extra Draco. But let's say the mirror, for example, because at that point it's a sided game, so you know what you're playing. Unless they're maining cherries like a savage. So, like, in the mirror, for example, game 2, like, if they cherries my Electron, I'll go, okay, Omega, banish a card, and then make Nightmare. So now you can't kill me. Because Nightmare's broken.
Okay.
And then 2 Electrums, kind of want a third, but 3 doesn't really come up in this build. Just because your combos only use 2, unlike the main combos in the other build that use 3. But this build only uses 2. Metaltron, it's the best link for you to go into after the combo. Because it opens up 3 zones instead of just 2. And then Deco Talker, which this is here for, like, the mid-game big push, like when you're out of links and you just need to kill them. This is just something you can make to open up more zones, which I did, like, 4 times the regional, and it was really good. Do you want me to go over the side deck, or buy him out now? This card is broken, and I don't know why people aren't playing it. This card is a walking prohibition. It is not a hard once per turn, and its effect lingers, and it hits already active cards. So, like, if they have an anti-spell up, you can just summon this, and its effect instantly turns off.
Whoa. So that's, yeah, I was going to say that holds true for skill drain, but that would make me a noob because you can't activate that effect. But,
like, literally, like, you summon this against True Dracos, and you call a Mono Awato, and now they can't stop your negations. Like, they have to play through your Vortex Dragon and everything else. So, like, this card's insane. The best part about it is that, especially against your Dracos, you call a Mono Awato with this, and then once you're done with this, and then, like, on your main phase 2, or, you know, during the end of your combo string, after you've used its effect, you overlay with it, and its effect still lingers.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if this leaves the field.
So hopefully you guys caught that. I mean, a lot of you guys might have known about side blocker, but I'm not gonna lie, I was not one of them. So this is why we have people like Tyler coming through.
Yeah, this card's absurd. And I signed 3 of it because, like, literally, like, I have a very weird siding pattern with this build because of the fact that every single game that I go second, I want to board out 7 cards. Out 8 them straps. So I wanted a lot of cards that I could just put in against, like, everything going second. So, like, side blocker, no matter what you're playing against, you can hit something. Evenly, same thing if you're going second. So, like, that's 6 cards right there. And then depending on the matchup, you can put in one of these. You know, whether it's this or this or this or this. You know, this is obviously for the mirror. This, in my opinion, is equally good against the mirror. Like, you know, this card's insane. It's obviously a blowout against Trickstars and Dracos.
Everything, yep.
Yeah, and then Denkos are for Draco and for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that's pretty much it for, you know, the deck.
Okay.
Really solid.
Well, man, I want to thank you for, you know, taking the time to explain all of that. I know you're going to help a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players that may have not had a chance to get over to Nono's page and check out your original video. I know there's a few people, especially in my small circle, that aren't Yu-Gi-Oh players, but because I'm into it, they're a little more into it and like a little more interested. So I might actually have you help me make a small, like a tutorial video of how to watch YouTube videos on Yu-Gi-Oh, because again, there's a lot of people that I know that are interested, that want to watch it, but they don't understand it. So bro, I think you'd be a perfect person to help me create that little video. So that's something else we'll work on later.
Yeah, anytime. I'm
cool.
always, you know, looking to improve the scene, improve the community, and, you know, introduce new players.
All right. Well.
I actually had one kid, you know, just a quick side note. I was at my locals, you know, a few weeks ago. There was this kid there who recognized me from Nono's video.
Oh.
And, he recognized me from the music videos. And he's like, "Oh my God, are you Cheddar Bob?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am. How are you?" And he's like, "Can you sign my Totally Awesomes?" I was like, "Sure." But he was like a 12-year-old kid, and he was playing Paleo, and it was actually really good. Like it always makes me really happy to see that, because like he had as I was playing the match with him, and we're literally just like talking theory. It's really cool. Like I love, you know, trying to expand the scene, and you know, it has its moments where I want to, you know, where I hate this game. I think we all have those moments.
Oh my God, I hate this game so much you don't even understand. I say that in my locals.
It's like my relationship with Smash Bros. And Mario Kart.
Yep.
I hate this game. It's so awesome.
All day long.
Yeah.
It's true. 2K will have you feeling like that too. Don't forget about that. It'll have you screaming, but you love it. But alright, yo, so that is a great deck profile. And again, I know you're going to help out a lot of people. I got some more ideas, you know, just from you actually breaking it down even further into detail. So we're going to wrap up this portion of the deck profile. I also want to thank Tyler for his time and also for visiting our page. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed his deck profile of the Guiding Ariadne Magicians. We're going to have a lot more videos coming up and a lot more gameplay as well. So hopefully, again, you guys enjoyed Tyler. And he'll be back with us soon. So take care, you guys. And don't forget, please visit his page. The link is in the description. Take care, guys.